Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge outdoor wall sconce called the Forged Vertical Bar. This is going to be the medium one, 30, 72, 86. Awesome fixture. Two other sizes, one smaller, one bigger. Check them all out, and let's get into this one. So this is going to be 19 inches overall height, and that's going to be the distance from the very bottom of the fixture to the very top of the fixture, which is really the back plate in this case. 6.5 inches wide. It's going to have a projection from the wall out, coming out at 6 inches. Mounting height is going to be 9.4 inches from the bottom of the fixture to the middle of your electrical outlet box. And a way to show you more information about that is for you to look at the installations instructions. These are the papers that are going to be in the box when you get this. How we're going to do that? If you're on the page for this on HandmadeInVermont.com, look over on the right hand side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. You're going to see a lot of great information there. You're going to see what the back plate's like, how it goes onto the junction box, how the glass goes on, what the lamping's like inside, all those little details. It's also going to show you that the back of this is kind of built as a wall. So you have a back plate, and then you actually have a wall around the back that's just a little about that thick. And that's going to allow the back of this to actually be kind of an open box that's against your building, your house, your structure, whatever you guys are doing. It's going to allow you to run those wires any place in the back, and that's really important for a lot of you guys, because sometimes you want to run this, have this at the top or the middle or on the bottom, and it'll give you that opportunity. Just make sure you kind of work within the parameters of how to attach it to your building if you're not using the middle of this, okay? Just one of those little things to think about. Let's get into what's inside of this as far as lamping goes. So this is going to be using a medium base socket. It's just a nice porcelain, really heavy duty socket. And it also is going to be able to accept any screw-in light bulb. So you have up to 100 watts for incandescent. Remember, those are the old standard light bulbs we had in our lives way back when. A lot of you guys want to be using LEDs, which I think you should. The sky's the limit on LEDs. So basically, LEDs don't draw a lot of electricity. They don't produce a lot of heat. So you can use whatever you want that'll physically get into the glass. And this is the piece of glass for that. Hubbardton Forge is opal glass. I'll get more into details on what that's about. Closed top, nothing could get in. Very thick, heavy piece of glass. So this is an A21 light bulb. This is probably be the biggest one I would expect you guys to be looking at, and it easily fits into this without any problem. An A19 size light bulb is smaller. That's the A19. And just as a reference, an A19 is really about the size of a regular standard incandescent bulb, 60 watt that we all grew up with. So size-wise, that's kind of what you're looking at. There are other LEDs out there in the world too. This is the T10. This will max out at 60 watt equivalent or a 60 watt max for incandescent. I probably wouldn't go there necessarily, but there are some like that are phosphorus. So the clear ones like this, guys, they have the little strips in them. You can find these probably up to 100 watt equivalent easy. But if you really want to pump light out of these things, don't be afraid to jump into an A21. And I found this at my local hardware store with absolutely no problem whatsoever. I think this is 100 watt equivalent, but I can find these up to 150 watt equivalent. And you really want to be able to get light out of these things and not use a lot of electricity in the process, okay? Hubbardton Forge, on their website, they say that they have a dedicated LED version of this. That's a little misleading because I just told you you can use all of these LEDs in the regular socket here. So the one that's going to be the dedicated LED, so what they're not telling you is it's really for specific situations. And one of those is going to be people in the state of California that are doing new construction or renovation and are being forced by their state. And I guess I'll let you ponder that for a second. Anyway, forced by their state to do specific things. And one of those things is using this socket and this setup. So this socket is a GU24, and this is a GU24 light bulb that has a little prongs on top, and it basically doesn't let you ever use an incandescent. It forces you to use this specific bulb. That's called California Title 24 compliancy. And then you're kind of, you have to do this. You have no choice in that situation. If you're just swapping out sconces and you're in the state of California, or you're just putting new sconces in your house and no one's coming to do anything, then just stick with this socket, the incandescent version, and put in your own LED that you guys get to choose. You know, you have the liberty to choose. Anyway. So there's another situation where you guys are going to be using this dedicated LED, and that's going to be if you're building a LEED certified building, and that's going to be LEED. So LEED certified buildings are such that you're getting these special tax credits for doing these super energy efficient buildings, and then they're going to come out and check that this is what you guys are doing too, and that's going to be pretty important. Another thing is, if you're going to be using this inside a covered porch, maybe like a screened-in porch or on a deck, and you want to be able to dim this down at night because you guys are going to be hanging out there with your friends after dinner and sipping coffee and talking late into the night, you're going to want to be able to dim this down. And you can find all of these LEDs that are going to be dimmable. So just make sure that you buy a dimmable LED, you put it on a pretty good dimmer that accepts LEDs, and I think you're going to be really happy with this. The other thing is you can choose your color temperature with LEDs. I tend to like the warmth of an incandescent bulb. That's just me. That's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. There's this Kelvin meter, this Kelvin scale for light. So when you get the lower ones are going to be the warmer ones, and then the higher ones are that white light, like way up like 4,000, 5,000 is going to be like doctor's office hospital white, and then way down in 2,700 Kelvin and 3,000 Kelvin is considered the warm light. So, if I was going to be using this in a residential situation, I would probably go for the 3,000 Kelvin bulbs, and you can find them everywhere. I mean, that's just what they are. If you guys are doing this in maybe a commercial situation, maybe like a restaurant, outside a restaurant, or maybe a country club or something like that, you might opt to go for that whiter light. It's just the nature of the beast. You actually get more lumens out of a whiter 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin than you do out of the lower numbers. Just one of those things. But it's up to you guys. So when you're at a hardware store or if you're online, just make sure you zero in on those numbers. So 3,000 Kelvin is going to be warm light, 4,000 Kelvin and 5,000 Kelvin are considered daylight, but that's a little misleading because that's actually a very white light, kind of like that doctor's office light we talked about a second ago. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the ends. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. They're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's talk about something else. Same kind of idea. They only use aircraft-grade aluminum to make all of their outdoor lighting, and the reason they do that is because aluminum holds up better than any other material in harsh, extreme weather. When you go out and you're out in the world, look up and you'll see those jet airlines flying up there way above your head. They're all made out of aluminum for a reason, because it holds up beautifully, it welds beautifully, it doesn't rust, it's very light, and it's just the best material to use outside. So on top of that, they have developed these outdoor baked epoxy powder coats that can go over this and make them pretty much indestructible, and we're going to talk about that right now. So how they do this, you'll notice in the picture next to me, there's a picture of a woman, and she's actually shooting powdered finish at the fixture, and they take the fixture, let's say this is the fixture to begin with, okay? They wire it up with a wire here, a wire coming down. They run a small amount of electricity through it to make it positive. And what that does, it makes it attract everything around it. So when she's over there spraying little bits of powdered finish, what it's going to do, it's going to go over the entire fixture. It's going to get into every nook, every cranny, top, bottom, sides, the whole thing. They're going to take that fixture, they're going to put it into an oven. That's going to melt that down and make it into a hard epoxy shell. And it makes it incredibly strong. Because they do this, and these things have been tested in these wind chambers where they have shot salty seawater at them, basically, because that's what's going to happen on a beach, right, where a lot of these things are going to end up. They had to really do that to make sure that they're going to hold up for you. And because they have done that, they offer the best warranty for the entire lighting industry. And you can see that over on the left-hand side of your screen. Limited lifetime warranty for residential use, and check it out, and it'll really make you feel better about their products. Okay. Moving on from there, why don't we talk about our showroom in Vermont. We have over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We actually have a What's on Display page on our website. It's over in the red tabs over on the left-hand side of your screen, so you can open up that and check it out. Showroom has also a clearance center. So clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's an amazing deal for you. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you guys are going to come visit us, do me a favor, bring a big SUV, if you can, if you have one, only because the boxes are set up for shipping. Measure everything you can think of. So measure with a measuring tape, measure your ceilings, measure counters, tables, distances between junction boxes and things like ceilings, because if you're looking, you want to make sure when you're looking at these things that they're going to be able to be used by you for your needs, okay? And then also bring an iPad. If you guys are doing a project and you have a tablet laying around at home, take pictures with that. Take pictures and you can bring that tablet in and we can go through all those pictures together and look and see what you guys are doing, and I can help you out on that, okay? So when you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else does that. Some larger items, generally big things on pallets and custom things, are going to be non-returnable. We'll always tell you that on the page for it, so just keep your eyes peeled for that. And then on top of all that, we offer a rush program. So in order for you to get all of these different finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. It takes generally about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it is super, super inexpensive. A lot of people don't even know about it. If you want to know about it, the best thing to do is just drop me a quick email, sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. You can also call 802-446-2400 during business hours. And so I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time if you guys want to talk to me. And then you can email us 7 days a week at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. So I think that kind of wraps things up on this. You guys have any questions at all, let me know. Thank you for stopping in today. Take care. Bye-bye.